Good morning, good morning. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. A little squared away here. All right. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Robin. Ha ha. I'm so glad you're here. I was uh, I was gonna talk about you anyway, but I'm so glad you're here. Um, it is a good day. Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Vicky. I saw the picture of your tree, Vicky. That's crazy. It was some wind last night, and it was a weird wind. It was from the west, which almost never happens. We you know we always know which way, depending on how the boat moves. We always know which way the wind's blowing. So, and yeah, it never comes from that direction. So that's I imagine the tree was unprepared. Like, good morning, John. How are you? Good morning, Priscilla. So glad you're here in the beautiful state of Ohio. Oh, nice. You're at the farm hanging out with the horses. Excellent. That sounds perfect. I hope it's doing good things for Joe. That's terrific. That sounds just right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. I was in shock. Yeah, when they come down like that, it's a whole different. Yep. You think they're gonna stay there, and when they don't, it's an experience for sure. Good morning, Donna. How are you? Hey, Kim. Great to see you. Hope you are well. Hope the yoga's going well. Hope that's treating you good. I was excited to see that you went through that program. That very cool. We do a lot of that here. We have 2 nights of yoga that we sponsor. By the way, commercial time. If you don't know, we sponsor 2 nights of yoga, 6 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It is free to the community. It is part of our ministry to the wider world to let us help us be incarnational people and be in our bodies a little better. So, um, if you want to be a part of that, that's awesome. Good morning, Jamie. Hope you're great. Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Thursday, the 8th day of October, 2020. And I just want to start us today. I'm going to talk about something else, but I want to start us today with an invitation to all of you that at 11:45 today, my friend Robin Carden is going to be going live on her church's Facebook page, Sutton's Bay Congregational Church out in Sutton's Bay, Michigan, and they because this is a special day. This is a very special day. This day, Robin was ordained into the Christian ministry, and it is her 20th anniversary. Woo woo! It is 20 years. It is amazing, and her and I's path have, we kind of started out in this journey together, and we've been apart and we've come together. But at this point, I cannot imagine kind of continuing this without this little cast of characters here. This is Robin and Jeremy and Seth, and Robin's the good-looking one. So we are, and so I want to wish her well, please, in these days. Good morning, Bonnie. Good morning, Irene. Good morning, Donna. Did your blood work? Oh, very nice. Good morning, Lori. How are you? So please wish Robin congratulations. It's sort of a big deal. So we were supposed to gather actually and have a party, and the fact that we're not bears mention. And that brings up what I want to talk about today. Is today because I want to talk about, we're doing our Blessing of the Animals service on Sunday. So if you're in the area and want to come by and you have a pet, or you want to come by and be a part of the petting zoo, you want to ride a horse, we're gonna have we do pony rides in downtown Fall River. Is this not the most awesome thing in the world? That we are going to that come on down, and we'll be here Sunday morning to be a part of that. Uh, Found a picture of your entire graduating class. Oh my God! That's another topic that I know, Robin. I can't fathom this journey without you as well. But we are so what it got me thinking about though is this kind of fact that we're not gathering around Robin and celebrating 20 years right now, and the loss that comes with that, and the fact that we had animals this coming up, and the blessing of the animals, and what a and because I think this is a perfect time to do blessing of the animals, because man, I don't know about you, but my guy has been just a rock through this time. Like he is like having, getting out and walking the dog, getting out and having the rhythm of care for him has been a ministry, like in a way that it's been a gift to me. That's been in through these days. So all of that is to say, I want to talk about elephants today. Did you see that coming? No? All right. But here's why I want to talk about elephants. The first chapter of Isaiah starts this way. Isaiah is a break in the biblical narrative. The whole thing changes at this point. And I'll start in the second verse. First chapter, second verse. Hear me, you heavens. Listen, earth. For the Lord has spoken. I reared children and I brought them up, but they have rebelled against me. The ox knows its master, the donkey its own manger, but Israel does not know. My people do not understand. I thought this was just a beautiful verse of kind of the breaking of this time, about how we just and this is talking about Israel's disobedience to God, but I feel like this is a time of I think that we're talking about our time as the experience of disobedience, and what that often feels like in terms of our grief, in terms of and the unruliness of our hearts in this time. Like, I don't know about you, but I've been, I'm a pastor. I'm working with people. I'm trying hard to keep our little community here connected. I'm working to keep our wider world connected. I'm working to make positive impact in the world. I'm scheming and trying and working and praying and offering up to God, what can I do in these times, and yet I like to be partying with Robin about her ordination right now, and I'm not. And so I want to talk about the unruliness of the heart, and the unruliness of the heart that is in this time. The unruliness that is something that I think we need to address. And so I want to give you a tool for this, and I want to give you another way to understand this, because if you look at the way that text started, is it says the donkeys, they know how to behave, the ox, they know how to behave, but Bible doesn't talk a lot about elephants, kind of along the edges. But I want to talk about elephants today, because see, when you train an elephant, this is particularly the way it's done in India, is that there's three components. There's three players here. There's the trainer. There's the Mahmoud, who is the Indian elephant driver. There is the wild elephant, and often the elephant is brought in and captured in the wild, and that is going to be domesticated. And then there is a already trained elephant, and so you have these three components. And I think it's a beautiful correspondence. It's a beautiful understanding for kind of how we're wired. We have our thought and our higher understanding that if I'm having a bad day, if I'm in a bad mood, if I don't want to be in that bad mood, there's a higher self that says, "Come on, Andy, like let's get out of this. Let's shake this off. Let's figure this out. Let's that turns to God and says, "Hey, let's give me another way. Like, give me something else." That gives me something else. That's the truth side of me. That's the elephant driver, because that doesn't necessarily mean I feel that way. It's just my it's kind of my understanding that staying in a hole and pouring ashes on my head is just not going to be it. And so there's the elephant driver, the higher sense of myself. Then there's the trained elephant. The trained elephant is my body and my ability to act in the world, my ability to do stuff. And then there's the wild elephant, which is the emotional heart. The heart, friends, is a wild elephant. The heart is not a well-trained donkey. The heart is not The heart is not a an ox that knows the way. The heart is a wild elephant, and it wants what it wants, and it will. And when it rages, it will rage. When it sits down, and there's nothing that will move a wild elephant. That in all of these things, that the wild elephant of our being is our hearts. It's our emotional life. It can be sad, it can be up, it can be down, but there's no telling it what to do. Friends, the way they train elephants in India is like this. They'll capture the elephant in the wild that they're going to train. They will take the trained elephant, and they'll take a series of poles and a series of lashes, and they'll lash the trained elephant to the wild elephant. And so what they do, and then they go to work. That's all they do. And then they go about their day. And so the trained elephant kind of goes through and picks up logs, as the trained elephant does, and clears out things and does all their little elephant tasks along the way. And the wild elephant is goes kicking and screaming a little bit, but goes along. And then after a little while, it realizes it gets a few rewards from the fact that when it pulls on the log with the trained elephant, the driver gives it some num-nums and gives it some rewards, and it realizes that actually life's better when we're in this state, and that being this in this state, and it brings it into alignment. Friends, we have our understanding in our mind, and our understand that our higher desire, and we have to choose it. Now, this is the thing: we have to be an elephant driver. We have to be willing to say, like, I'm in a hole, I'm in a rage, I'm in a depression, I'm in a loss, and we have to make a choice. Sometimes the elephant driver is so out of it that they can't get on board. That's a whole different thing. But I'm talking about our age right now. Like, there's a way that we need to be about the task of training our elephant and bringing on board our wild elephant. And then there is how we behave in the world. We can control what we think to some degree or another. We can control how we act to some degree or another, and that we can lash that wild elephant. We can lash our heart to our actions. It is, and this is new brain science, actually. This is real brain science. That you can act your way into a new feeling state. It is extremely difficult to feel your way into a new action. Stay with me on this, because we think it goes the other way. We think it's the opposite way. We think that what we do is we need to get our house right and just get right with Jesus. And if we're just spiritual enough, and we're all praying with God and all, then our lives will just flow, and we'll just have these moments where we're just all together with Jesus. And no, none of that's true. None of that's true. That actually we act ourselves into. We are, in one level, we are monkeys, and we are mimetic. We imitate, and we even in our inner lives will even imitate our external lives. That we can bring our emotional life along. So if you're struggling in your emotional life these days, I got up and I was sad because I wasn't going to see Robin's face today. Like face to face, like being there with her, like hearing her big laugh and hearing her, smiling. Like, I was sad, and I'm like, okay, I can sit here in my big pity party and put my little tears on and be all, pour some more ashes on my head. Or I can walk through this day. I can move myself through this day, and I can lash that sadness to it and recognize that I'm sad because Robin means so much to me. And I'm not, I don't get to celebrate with her, but I get to have a Robin in my life. How freaking awesome is that? And that I can walk, and that's because I got out of bed. That's because I brushed my teeth. Because I walked myself through this, because I'm here with you right now, because we're in this whole thing all the way through. And that I can pull my heart out of this wild place where it decided this morning to just sit down in a big mud pile, and I can come and share it with you. Yes, Just Try the Pants. If you've never heard Robin's Just Try the Pants story, it is that. Alcoholics Anonymous has a phrase that says, fake it till you make it. And that is there's more truth in that than we can ever know. There's more truth than we can ever know. And because it's not faking it. That's the only lie about that. It's not inauthentic. And somebody told you once that if you don't feel it, it's not okay. Friends, your heart is a wild elephant, and that thing will run over every precious thing in your life. If you don't lash it to the truth of if you don't let it be mastered by the truth of your life, by your little mammut inside, and if you don't lash it to the actions of your life, it will run wild and crush every beautiful thing in your life. But if you do manage to lash it up, you'll be powerful beyond measure. You'll be twice the elephant any other person on the planet is. You'll be powerful. You'll be filled with spirit, and you will come through that Isaiah moment where you kind of come where this moment of the book of Isaiah, which starts out with this rebellious notion, where it's talking about the wild elephant. Israel's heart is gone from God. And yet, at the end of the book of Isaiah, there are these 12 beautiful chapters at the end where where we get all of those great and beautiful phrases. Comfort, oh comfort my people Israel. Where there's this power and this glory and this beauty of dwelling. Where we get those phrases, wonderful, counselor, the Prince of Peace. We think about that as all kind of Christmas stuff. No, friends. That's what happens when we go through this Isaiah process of lashing up our wild elephant in here, and with the actions of our days, walking through our days even though we're maybe not feeling it that day, and being at the driver of our higher truth, our higher call that Jesus has for us in this world, and working out that best truth that we know in any moment. I know today I was a lot today. It was big, but it's a big day. It is Robin's anniversary of her ordination, and we are here celebrating with her, and we are here in it. So remember, and I really encourage you, if you're into the brain science thing, go look this up, because this is this has been one of the great discoveries of brain science in the past 20 years, with MRIs and blood flow imaging and all that kind of stuff that they can do now, is that they've really proven that it is nearly impossible to feel your way into a new state of being. But you can think and mostly act your way into a new way of feeling. Friends, we are people who walk in the way of Jesus the Christ. We walk through the parades of Jerusalem and the celebrations. We walk through the gardens of Gethsemane. We walk through the homecomings of a Bethany, and we walk through the rejection of the attempted stoning at Nazareth. We walk through all of these places, and we walk in this way knowing that we're going to feel all of these things. We're going to feel all of those. And yet, as we walk this out, that wild elephant of a heart that we have, lashed to, commanded by the best truth that we know, lashed to our actions of walking it out, our actions of walking in this way. That's why we talk about ourselves as people who walk in the way of Jesus, is because that walk is part of that trained elephant that lashes to our wild heart, that brings us home. That's just the beauty of it. It brings us home. It brings us to a place that we'll never could get to on our own, but through the beauty and the grace and the love that the Lord Jesus Christ has for each one of us, to guide us in that path, in that way, with our very own trained elephant and very own driver. All right, friends, That is what I have for you today. Come out. We're doing the C.S. Lewis study tonight. If you want to be a part of that, the Zoom link is in the event page on Facebook. We can see you there. That'll start at 7:30 tonight. If you want to be a part of, we're having our Blessing in the Animal service on Sunday. Bring your pets to worship, where they will get a blessing. I have some very special oil and water for it. And then we have our petting zoo outside. And so if you want to go for a pony ride, you want to pet some goats and all of that, they'll be all out there. It'll all be right and socially distanced and all that. Don't worry about that. But come and be a part of this time, and be love to have you. And those actions might be just a way for you to lash your wild elephant, whatever it's doing today, to some actions that will bring you some peace. All right, friends, it is great. And I hope at 11:45 today, this morning, in about 15 minutes, Robin is going to kick off, and we're going to have a little celebration for her on her Sutton's Bay congregational page. So go check her out. It's awesome. All right. Love to you all. Peace and grace.